More of Lord Caelus's account gathered from 4chan and shared by Harlequin. When humanity defied the Galactic Confederacy, the first reaction was mockery. A dozen species made it up, each with hundreds of star systems under their command. Humans own barely a handful, surrounded on every side by others, because galactic law forbade orbital bombardment as a war crime. Combat happened mainly on the ground. We assumed the humans would never hold. A single alien could crush one in its palm with no effort. The Ocalix were frail, yet they could field billions in armies. The Orina were the galaxy's best pilots and engineers. Every species, including my own, held advantages beyond humanity's reach. Strength, speed, intellect. On paper, humans should have been finished. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and class. We misjudged them. That mistake kept them alive. The humans carried strengths we never valued then, but which none forget now. 3 in particular changed everything. The first was skill at ranged warfare. Each human could fight at a distance by nature alone. Of the few species able to do the same, none matched humanity. With natural instinct enhanced by cybernetics, their aim was nearly flawless. Power of muscles or the sharpness of senses meant little when humans could fire endless bullets faster than we could deploy troops. Every tool they built was suited for ranged war. Soldiers, armor, tanks, all designed to fight at a distance. Most of us relied on melee combat, with range only possible through cybernetic upgrades. Yet even without them, a human could outshoot specialists from other species. We rushed augmentations into our forces, but it helped little. Humanity had been fighting with range weapons since crawling from the mud. If we ever closed to melee, they were torn apart, but that chance came rarely. My people could match them only with scatterguns. Poor aim was balanced by speed and sheer volume. Even so, victory never came. Their greatest strength kept them free. Among all creatures in the galaxy, none endure. Like humans, they are not the strongest. They are not the fastest. Others surpass them in every measure. But humans refuse to stop. Most species collapse in sleep. After hard exertion, humans need less than half the rest, and with augmentations, barely needed any at all. Compared to others their size, their stamina was beyond reason. Armies that never halted. Forces that chose battlefields where their guns ruled. Their shifting lines never ceased, their machines never broke. Because humans endure, their vehicles are built the same way. The Orina designed machines far superior in speed, power, and agility, yet ours demanded constant maintenance. Human machines could fight 4 weeks without repair. Even after battle, they raided endlessly, avoiding direct fights until our machines wore down, then striking with full fury. I could chase down a human hovercraft and slaughter its crew once, but after, I would collapse in hunger and fatigue. Humans, slow as drifting glaciers, never needed to. They let us attack, then pressed and pressed again until we fell. So many of us died that way. And the third strength, perhaps most frightening. My kind are hunters. We killed most prey on our world long ago. We kill well, but we prefer ambush and speed, not prolonged battles. Ill kicks and the stringer come from plant eaters, fighting like herds. They swarm in great numbers but crumble if leaders fall. The Ilkiks were too simple-minded, their lives too cheap, and were used as cannon fodder. Perhaps only the Orina matched humanity's fire, but they could not match their endurance or close combat skill. Humans are predators descended from prey. You can sense it in their scent. They are creatures that once huddled in groups, then turned on their hunters. We know of beasts that do similar, bitten by venom. dying yet fighting until the end simply for revenge. But those are mindless animals. Humans carry that spirit yet. They are not beasts. They are pack-born. Kill one of their pack and they will. Remember, they will come for you moving. Always never stopping with those mercilessly precise weapons. I recall a man we shot 37 times. With scatter fire. His chest torn apart. Yet he killed 3 of us before falling. Screaming vengeance for his kin. Instinct screamed to flee, even while we held every edge. True, some humans died in fear, but countless more died with that wild, suicidal fury burning in there. On every world we fought, I slew many humans. Among my kind, I am praised as a hero for my victories in that doomed war. But I never speak of the times I hid, crawling through mud, slipping beneath fallen logs, or lying beneath corpses to escape the humans' relentless advance. I never tell them about the countless bullets still lodged in my body. Never speak of the human I shot in the face, who still had the strength to drive a knife into my stomach even as he fell. They are not prey. They cannot be ruled, as we have ruled others. Humanity endured that so-called small war and claimed dozens more scarred worlds in the process. My people alone lost more than 3 billion soldiers. Tell ourselves it was nothing, a minor battle with a minor species. No great loss. But I say this, if we suffer many more minor wars like that, we will have no strength left for the real ones. Our kind ever face humanity again. I will not join the fight. I will hunt prey species instead and hope no battle-mad human assassin breaks the treaty and ends. Warlord Chul'rush of the Shilani. End of story. Story 2. Overheard in a bar. Written by Fontaine. The Varaxi sipped his drink and lowered his voice, eager to share gossip. His 2 Dunto companions leaned closer. I heard scat slipped onto the human station at Horsehead Reef. Damn, muttered the larger Dunto. I liked that station. He sagged his ears downward in a gesture of regret. Rerouting's going to cost a fortune. At the next table, humans turned and watched them with puzzled looks. Dunto flicked their ears back in commiseration. You know anyone there? That was my home port, the Varaxi said quietly. Oh, sorry friend. I wouldn't turn down a drink, he answered. If you'll let me get the next round. They shifted tables, asking the waitress to move the open tab. What are you talking about? Asked one human. The Zuvat, the Varaxi replied. Oh, that spider-worm thing. Yeah, nasty. We lost a couple guys before figuring it out. A couple? The Varaxi's eyes widened. Both Dunto froze, ears twitching in. 2 casualties, the human confirmed. Usually, an evacuation costs dozens of lives, the Varaxi muttered. Sure, it took a few days to catch it. The human continued. Catch, blurted the larger Dunto. As if, echoed the smaller. The human shrugged. You can't just let them crawl around the ductwork. They'd kill everyone. What do you all do? The Dunto looked at the Varaxi. He answered. We evacuate, seal the station, and let it starve. That could take months, said the human, frowning. No, the Varaxi admitted, tossing back his drink. Dublik Welder near the Ryan Nebula has been abandoned for 16 years. The human shook his head. That's wrong. Why would you allow it? Once it's in the ducts, it'll pop out anywhere, kill at will and breed. The Varaxi gestured for another round. Yes, that is why we evacuate. Keep it contained to prevent eggs from leaving with evacuees. Several times the human looked ready to argue but stopped himself. Last he spoke. Why wouldn't you kill them? They're just animals. Sure, they regenerate, but only if you let them. Let them, the Varaxi echoed. The human set down his glass. You trap them in one section. Arm everyone. Don't let it rest. Took maybe 7 shots before it gave up running. The larger Dunto whispered. As if the smaller repeated. Regeneration needs time and food, the human explained. By the third hit it knew it was doomed. It squealed the whole time, scrambling through ducts. Saddest sound I've ever heard. Pathetic, the larger Dunto asked. As if, the smaller said flatly. The human glanced between them. That a comedy routine. 'Cause it sounded funny. Anyway, yeah, I was there. Home station. The larger Dunto stared. You killed a Zuvat. Hell no. We caught it. Scientists think the venom might be a miracle drug or maybe a lure. Turns out milking them is easy. Milking, repeated the larger Dunto. As if, muttered the smaller. The human nodded. The Varaxi glared, voice tightening. So let me understand. Zivek got on your station. You had no warning. When human died, shot it with a blaster and still perished. Then you threw more fighters at it until it tired of killing and collapsed. About right, the human said. Not just fighters though. 6-year-old girl shot. The third time. That's when it got scared. The Varaxi stared at his untouched drink. He wasn't drunk enough for this. And this is normal. For humans. What's abnormal? The man asked. First victim was a child. No way in hell. I'd let that stand. You don't mess with our kids. You have formidable group response. Damn right. But that's not the only reason. My 10-year-old nephew fired the last shot. Brought it down. The thing looked up at him with those 5 huge eyes, whimpering. The human glanced at the Dunto. Go on. Say it. Whimpered, muttered the larger, ears drooping. As if, said the smaller without emotion. The human smiled, proud, and drained his glass. Took everything I had to tell the kid no when he asked if he could keep it. End of story. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons. Casper Arnholtz, John Crotton, Vori050, Dragzumri and Elijah. Silver Cross. Thank you very much.